Good afternoon, everyone. Please take your seats. Welcome to UN Day 2025. I want to welcome you all. I'm Marcia Brewster, president of UNA Westchester. And we were going to start with a video, but he's trying to get us connected to Zoom. So I'm going to make my remarks, and then we will show the video. Is that fine with everybody? Okay, I'm delighted to welcome you to the 80th anniversary of the signing of the Charter of the United Nations in 1945. As you can see, I was referring to the video. The video is going to be shown later. The actual 80th anniversary of UN Day was on Friday, the 24th of October in New York and all over the world, and we had a wonderful day that day. The theme of UN Day 80 is building our future together. And for a few hours, we were at the UN. We were able to forget the dire straits that the organization is in right now, mainly as a result of the US government. But we were able to commemorate the accomplishments of the UN over 80 years. In Westchester, board members raised the UN flag in Hastings-on-Hudson and White Plains, and we got beautiful proclamations from Mayor Armacost and Mayor Tom Roach. Then I headed into the city to celebrate the 80th anniversary at UN headquarters, along with former and current UN staff for Staff Day. The day was filled with exuberant celebrants, music, food, and national costumes from all over the world in the Parade of Nations. The highlight was a fabulous film, and I hope Howard will get to see it soon, UN at 80, Voices of We the Peoples. It is a fabulous film, and it celebrates the triumphs and the tragedies that have faced the UN over the last 80 years. It has incredible footage from all the secretaries general, regular staff, peacekeepers, and also people who have been helped by the UN over all those years. I would like to screen this 90-minute film all over Westchester in all the libraries. So we just have to get our hands on it because it's so touching and it's so heartbreaking. But it's a very good film. Maybe Lily Schindler can help me get a copy of it. And today, UNA Westchester celebrates UN Day with our theme, Restoring Justice, Saving Lives, with dedicated humanitarians who have contributed to the Sustainable Development Goal number 16, peace, justice, and strong institutions at both the international and local levels. We have a fabulous keynote dialogue with two amazing people who have both served as UN regular staff as well as peacekeepers, Howard Diallo and Michael Kingsley Nina. They will discuss the complex issues of regenerating child soldiers into society. That will be followed by a panel of youth who are very knowledgeable about the justice system in the US and in Westchester County. These are from the White Plains Youth Court and Opportunity Youth part of New Rochelle. The panel will be moderated by our board member and partnerships chair, Nicole Benjamin. Then we will recognize and honor 3 champions of peace, justice, and strong institutions in Westchester County. Our program will end with a wonderful musical interlude dedicated to peace by the Srishti School of Music. We would like all of you to attend our no-waste reception following the program so that you can meet and network with each other, the speakers, and the honorees. We are very happy to welcome our local leaders. I know that our county executive, Ken Jenkins, is here. I don't know, is Shelley Mayer here? I guess she hasn't come yet. And Mary Jane Shimsky and Shanae Williams, is she here? We have received beautiful certificates from the county executive as well as from the majority leader of the New York State Senate for our guests and speakers. I have many people to thank for their contributions to the program, particularly Colleen Gardefeu, and Connie Jones-Hairston, who are the co-chairs for UN Day. Thanks also to board members Michelle Shivers, Maison Arnone, Rosemary Uzo, and Allison Christmas for all of their contributions to make the program happen today. I'm very grateful to our volunteers, including Natalie Korn and Ivy Menninger on the registration desk, Thalenza Krasniki and Holly Malekian on the reception and the no waste reception. Holly's in charge of that. And Ruby and Raj as our photographers. Our volunteers are priceless. I also wanted to give a shout out to our long-term AV expert, Derek Hatwood. Wave, Derek. He's trying to get us on Zoom. Finally, we are grateful to our long-term partners and co-sponsors, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, Zeta Nu Omega Chapter, and its president, Dr. Karen Williams, the Lynx Incorporated Westchester County and Greater Hudson Valley chapters, represented by Lorna Hawthorne, Karen Young, Jackie Boucher, and Pam Minard. The Southern New York State Division of UNA and the National Council of Negro Women Incorporated Westchester County section are also co-sponsors today. Finally, I am delighted to welcome a valued new co-sponsor, the Rotary Club of New Rochelle, and unfortunately, Barbara Crane is not able to be here today. I'm very sorry about that. The UN stands at a critical juncture, partly due to the current US government's attitudes. I believe that all of us in this room would agree that the strongest weapon we have for change is not explosives or the ability to kill with precision, but our voices. Our voices collectively and individually. The future lies with young people, many of whom are in this room, leading campaigns on climate, peace, human rights, and firearms control. UNA USA provides a perfect platform upon which to use that voice, engaging Americans, especially youth, to support the UN's vital mission through education and advocacy. Now we have Jose and Maison over at the membership table, so please visit them and sign up if you can to join our movement. And we have Lily Schindler and Bella are known at the information table. So pick up some information about the UN and, of course, the Sustainable Development Goals and visits to the UN and so on. Now we are ready to begin our exciting program. Derek, is that going to be ready in 2 minutes?
Video good, Zoom now.
Video good. Let's see the video first.
This is not the story of an institution. It's the story of people. People who stood between war and peace and chose peace. People who said, dignity cannot be broken. People who carried food on their backs, who rebuilt schools, who gave shelter to strangers. People who stood for the earth before it was too late. And the people who will carry it forward. The young, the unheard, the unstoppable. For 80 years, this has been and will be the work of humanity. Not perfect, not finished, but always better together. 80 years and more for peace, human rights, and sustainable development. UN. Better together.
So the UN theme is, of course, building, working together for peace, and it's UN 80. I think that video is very nice, but it was only 1 minute, and the longer movie is very, very good. Now, we're ready to begin our exciting program. I am absolutely delighted to introduce our keynote speaker, Hawa Diallo, who is President and Executive Director of the LBTI Taylor Kamara Foundation and is the former chief of the Civil Society Unit, UN Department of Global Communications, where she advanced international advocacy, public outreach, and multilateral partnerships. Hawa also served as a peacekeeper in Cambodia and Somalia. She hails from Sierra Leone, so she has firsthand experience with child soldiers and civil war. She will be in conversation with our colleague and friend, Michael Kingsley Nina, who was until recently acting Assistant Secretary General for Africa and Director of the Central and Southern Africa Division of the UN Secretariat Departments of Political and Peacekeeping Affairs and Peace Operations. He served the UN for over 3 decades in senior leadership roles in political and legal advice, refugee protection, armed conflict, emergency and headquarters contexts, and across the domains of humanitarian, political, human rights, and development work. Hawa and Michael, please take your seats.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for coming, and thank you for having us. Thank you, Marcia, for that brilliant introduction. You make it impossible for me to identify myself in the beautiful words you've spoken. That does not apply to Hawa. For Hawa, every word is true, okay? So, colleagues, we are delighted to have Hawa with us today. We are certain, and I'm sure you will all agree with me, that Hawa's experience, her knowledge, and her passion for serving others makes her the ideal guest speaker for this occasion. I'm sure that she will prove this when we give her the floor eventually. But I wanted to say that my name is Michael, and as moderator, I will pose 1 or 2 questions to Hawa, just to enable her to put the spotlight on 1 or 2 elements that are most important. As you all know, her specialty is the work that she does on the reintegration of child soldiers and other combatants into society after conflict has been resolved. She has vast experience in this area, and we hope to hear more from her in a few seconds. So there will be a segment at the end when we invite questions from the audience to enable Hawa to interact with you. I hope we have time for that at the very end of the proceedings. So Hawa, you are most welcome. I understand you go by Auntie Hawa, so you should allow me to call you that. Perhaps you have a few thoughts, introductory thoughts, before I begin to launch my questions, please.
Sure. Hi, everybody. Hi. How are you doing? Good. How's Westchester? Good. I'm your fellow Westchester person. So I was introduced as Howard Diallo, and I'll take it because it's my married name, but it's that struggle that we as women have. My full name is Hawa Taylor Kamara, my maiden name, Diallo, because it means a lot to me. I come from a legacy of public service in Sierra Leone. I first came to the United States because my dad was ambassador to the United Nations and High Commissioner to Canada. I didn't know what the UN was. I was just a kid following my parents. But from an early age, I knew I would have to serve and give back. So for many years, I dropped my maiden name. At some point, I'm like, wait a minute. So I've taken it back. So I love to introduce myself as Hawa Taylor Kamara Diallo because it really encompasses my whole history. So distinguished colleagues, members of the UN Association, friends, and all the fantastic young people that are here, killing it in every way that you know how. It's really a profound honor for me to be here with you, especially because I also am from Westchester. And I now live in Sleepy Hollow, but I've been in White Plains, North White Plains, Valhalla. As a kid, I grew up in Mount Vernon. That's where the Embassy of Sierra Leone's house was. I went to elementary school in Mount Vernon. William B. Hanna Elementary School, I still remember that. I lived in New Rochelle for some time, so Westchester really has been home to me. I was out of the country for like almost 20 years working in Kenya for one of the United Nations organizations, UN Habitat. And when I came back to New York, although I grew up in New York, the only place that made sense to me was Westchester. And that's how I came back here. So, the subject of child soldiers is really deeply personal to me. I mean, I'm not your overall expert because at the United Nations, we are specialists in many areas. So I have a lot of experience working in advocacy and awareness around issues such as child soldiers. But for someone whose country, Sierra Leone, have you heard of Sierra Leone before? Yes, West Africa. Next to what country? See, you know I'm going to test you. Sierra Leone is next to a country that begins with the letter L. Liberia. There we go. We had a civil war for many years, and a lot of people in Sierra Leone endured a lot of atrocities. And also as a former person working at the United Nations, because I retired after 38 years at the United Nations, and also working in post-conflict places in Africa and beyond, I really got to see the reality of what the UN does in many places.
That's excellent. Thank you very much, Hawa. Just to ease us gently into the subject, may I ask you to take a large lens, okay, take a big picture view, global, and share with us a sense of the scale and nature of this issue of child soldiers, combatants, and reintegration. Is it a serious issue globally, or are we just making a big fuss? Okay, how do child soldiers happen? Is it just by accident? Is it an economic issue? Is it political? Just paint for us a big picture to ease us into this subject, please.
I personally think that the issue of child soldiers is very important. But then I ask my question to myself, and I ask you, do we hear about it in the news? It's been a while. I remember it had to be maybe in the 80s, maybe early 90s. Grassara Machel was a special advisor for child soldiers. It was big. You heard something about it every other day. But I realized, I would say in the last 15 years, not that it's not happening, not that it's not a global issue, we hear less about it in the news. Now, according to the UN, it estimates that more than 250,000 children are associated with armed forces and groups globally right now. That's a big number.
Yes.
And I can imagine that in early years it was even higher. And that in Africa, it's been mostly visible in countries like Sierra Leone, Liberia that you mentioned, Uganda, and the Democratic Republic of Congo and South Sudan. And these are places like DRC, Congo, and South Sudan where war is raging, but we don't hear about it on the news. But it's happening and it's a reality. And this is where boys and girls have been abducted, coerced, or manipulated into becoming fighters, porters, spies, and even human shields. I had a really shocking experience for myself because after retiring from the UN, I now have my own foundation after my father's name, IB Tilakamara Foundation. Education is at the corner of everything we do. And one of the projects that I'm doing is that I'm giving livelihoods to women, young women, who are marginalized. Some of them are my relatives because I get those calls every day on WhatsApp. Auntie Hawa, I need this, I need that. I'm like, what can I do as a person to set my family members up as well as other women? And I'm really very hard on them to take that responsibility of what they need to do. Because it's not just about me giving you money to do a business. You know, I have something that they call Osusu in West Africa. It's like a saving scheme. In Kenya, they call it merry-go-round. It's like we all are in the pool as women. Every week we give like 200 shillings or let's say $5. And then at the end of, let's say, 2 weeks, somebody takes that money. I have to run after these women. to do that. And there's one lady who's my relative who was really slacking off, and I really went for her. And then I sat down, I spoke to her, and to my surprise, I didn't know that during the War of Sierra Leone, she was abducted as what they would call a bushwife, a soldier wife. She was taken from Sierra Leone. I hope I don't get emotional, because when I heard this, I was so shocked. Taken from Sierra Leone all the way to Liberia at the border. And you can just imagine, raped several times by multiple men, and there to cook and clean after these rebels. But somehow they repatriated them back to Sierra Leone. And I could never understand why. She was a little bit sort of standoffish, difficult. She even had a dabble with substance abuse because of that trauma that she had. So people have been affected in many different ways, but this was so personal to me. And of course, I had to cool down after that.
I can understand
Yeah.
that. You notice the audience responds when you give us concrete examples. You humanize the subject. You remind us that it's real. So let me give you a few more opportunities to do that, if that's all
I'm
right.
a sappy person. I'm starting to cry right now, so bear with me.
You've spoken about the human element being important,
Yes.
right? Could you take us a little bit into the process of reintegration? Okay, how does it happen? What works best? What are some of the lessons that have been learned, especially across Africa? And you said the human element is important. Do you know of any examples, perhaps, that you could share with us, where child soldiers have transcended the harshness of their environment, their circumstances, and have become productive citizens of their communities? Could you share that with us, please?
Of course. I know like for Sierra Leone, a lot of children came back from the bush with really deep psychological scars and trauma.
Right.
Many, we said, had been forced to commit violent crimes, even against their own families and communities. That really created a lot of mistrust and fear, and stigma within the community. And this happened in many places also, in Uganda. Maybe before, you used to hear a lot about the Lord's Resistance Army in Uganda, where both victims were tragically forced to really do a lot of bad stuff, you would say, and they were perpetrators. So reintegration, I think, has happened differently in many countries. I can say for Sierra Leone, that in a sense, we were lucky because you had the peacekeeping operation in Sierra Leone, and it was an operation that was complex in the sense that it had the political aspect, the social aspect. It had like a radio and information awareness aspect, because peacekeeping operations sometimes have found that when people in a country don't know what's going on, we're like, what is the UN doing here? And we don't give support. So the social aspect of reintegration of child soldiers was something that was big in Sierra Leone. And they were fortunate to have civil society organizations, NGOs, like World Vision. Do you guys know Don Bosco? Yeah. Caritas, the Catholic one, that worked along with the government to have reintegration, I can't even speak, reintegration centers and homes. And it was really very big. I have one of our dear friends, Lily must know Judy Karyansky. You must know Judy also. For many years, she's an NGO person, an American lady, who would come to talk to me in my job at the UN about the work she was doing to heal trauma for child soldiers in Sierra Leone with music and art. Where she created songs, where they helped the young kids to kind of come back to society through art. But I know for one thing, as Africans, that stigma in community was something that many people dealt with. Imagine, not because you wanted to, you killed that person who could have been my family. So people were not, open arms, welcome to come in. And imagine these were young children. Or even look at my niece. I never knew she'd experienced that situation. I deal with her in a different way. So at the time, you also had the UN peacekeeping operation.
Right.
So these things were structured. And the government also had structured programs. And I remember going to Sierra Leone one time in the 90s, and there were all these programs where it was like, training child soldiers to be carpenters, to be drivers, to be plumbers. So those things, when they happened, it worked. But to do this talk, I was asking people, what happened to those kids? Where are they? I don't hear about them anymore. So sustainability of the work that was done really was scaled down. And then as the years continued, you had less and less focus and less moolah, money, going to those programs. So you found, let's say, if World Vision or CARE International had a fantastic center for child soldiers, it's something that was downgraded. And, you know, good and bad, it was now kind of consolidated into what you would call child protection programs, which is good because you still have the focus of child protection, but that specific things about reintegrating child soldiers into society disappeared. And again, like for me, when I tried to find out in Sierra Leone, where are they? I was like, told like, don't talk about it. You know, and I'm like, I want to talk about it. I'm curious. Where are they? What are they doing? And for us in Sierra Leone, it's very crucial now. And again, in West Africa, because we have this increasing level of substance abuse. You know, here in the US, we talk about the fentanyl. They have the man-made or women-made substance that we call kush in West Africa. It is so rampant now in Sierra Leone. I can't say that all child soldiers went off the bend. Many people came back to society, got married, they did what they had to do. But for many people, there's an employment gap. There's an education gap. Imagine not going to school for 10 years. You know, there's that psychological PTSD. And now we have this issue where I'm sure some of these people are now involved with kush and substance abuse. And this is something that the government of Sierra Leone is only waking up and realizing now that something needs to be done.
Right. Thank you very much. You've mentioned resources dwindling. You've spoken about the attention given to this subject also fading. Could you, on the side of the solutions and the things that the UN does and member states do, could you zoom out a little bit, again, big picture, and just share with us what are the optimal approaches? What are the best ways to achieve success? Perhaps even putting money aside.
Yeah.
Okay? Is there a commitment issue? Is it about political will? What can the UN and member states do differently or better to achieve more success? And that word, sustainability. Because programs work initially when there's funds, when there's attention, and then when that drops off, these children are left high and dry. And then they tend to regress. What is it that would make this work for the long term? What are the criteria from your experience, please?
Before I go to that, I should give you two examples of people who I met. I didn't finish answering your question.
Yes.
I have one young man from South Sudan, actually. When I used to work in UN Habitat, we had a socially conscious program where we would appoint musicians at the local level. You know, you respond to people who look like you, who understand your story. His name is Lam Tungoa. This young man at like 7 or 8 years old walks like from Sudan, South Sudan to Kenya, to the refugee camp when they had the war there. And he grew up in the refugee camps. I met him when he was like maybe 19, 20, maybe 21. And his aim was to be a singer, a rapper. And we, you know, inducted him into this program and he became this megastar, you know, at the national level. I mean, I went to different programs with him in Europe where, you know, he told his story through song. And then later, I mean, he continued his education and he's now a member of government in South Sudan. So for me, that is like a success story. There's a young man in Sierra Leone called Ismail Bia. Maybe you've heard about him. He wrote like 2 or 3 books. He's a child soldier also from Sierra Leone, and he became a really international speaker and renowned personality. So there's hope. There's hope.
That's great. We're running out of time.
Yeah. For me, I think respect, dignity, acceptance by society is important. That we welcome people back, let bygones be bygones, and we deal with our also social and mental issues. For Africa, I think education is a key. It's a pillar.
Right.
It's your money in the bank for everything. It's your ladder. It's your stepping stone. Economic livelihood. If you ain't got money, you're not going anywhere. to support yourself. So we need to make sure there's sustainable economic outlets. I also think that on the African context, mental awareness, mental health is something we're learning more about, and we need to talk more about it. Because many people, I believe, in Sierra Leone are walking around with trauma, and they are not dealing with it. So for me, those are just like the quick things that I would say. It's not exhaustive. I'm happy to talk more and to hear what you have to say also.
Indeed. Thank you very much indeed, Auntie Hawa. So, colleagues, it's time for your questions. Unfortunately, we have time for just about 2. I'm estimating really brief questions.
Auntie Hawa talks a lot. So.
Thank you so much, Hawa and Michael. Do we have a question in the audience? Do you have a question?
Or a suggestion.
Or a suggestion.
Yes.
Indeed. Or an observation.
Observation, yeah.
I just want to say thank you so much for presenting this. It's hard.
Derek?
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I just want to commend you for your bravery and the bravery of the programs, of the folks that are running some of these programs. It takes a lot of courage to do what you're doing. So we just want to express gratitude for that. I'm West African. I'm from Nigeria. And it would be, my ancestors would be really upset if I don't mention this, in that it didn't always used to be this way with us, right? We had systems of governance, systems of education. So my culture, Yoruba, we say something called omoluabi. We make a child of good character. So our communities, we ran from violence. This is not what we're seeing in Africa is not our way. It is not our culture. And I want to lift that in this moment, because it's really easy to say, well, this is what Africa is. Something happened to us, and it's a cycle that's been ongoing. We don't know when. We're not going to point fingers, right? Because you said that. We're not pointing fingers. But something happened in Africa, and these are the evidences of a crime or a issue that happened. But we are not like this. And that education, so my challenge is that how do we bring back the systems that we developed over thousands of years that governed and maintained peace in the region? How do we start to infuse some of that back? Because the Western education system does not fit with us. My people say, Omoluabi, we make a child of good character. Before we teach a person what a leaf is like, or science or art, we teach them what it means to be good in the world. And that's missing from education systems. How do we bring all this back so we can thrive again?
Thank you.
I think it would be very nice if you both responded.
Yeah. You know, for me, intergenerational is quite important. I have a 90-year-old mom I left at home cooking before I came here. And I have grown up, I'm 61. I've grown up laying in my mom's bed every Saturday and Sunday, listening to the oral history of Sierra Leone and Africa. And those magnificent things about my country and the way we were post-independence, because my mom and dad were there, you know, through the first independence, are things that have been instilled in me. Since I was 9 years old, I knew that I was going to do IB Tilakamar Foundation. I didn't know what it was, but I knew I was going to do something. Because that education, that oral education and history that I got from my parents is something that is stuck in my head. And I think that young people today, you're fantastic. Auntie Hawa is your greatest advocate. But do not forget the wisdom of the elders. People have gone through this experience, and together, I think that's how we bring that education back. Over to you.
Thank you very much. Time is against us, so I think I'd rather, there's a request for the floor. The gentleman right in the center there. Yeah, raise your hand. Yeah, thank you. It's very hard for me to resist answering the question, so
I'm going to leave it to you.
I need,
We would like you to answer. That next question is
How you
yours.
doing? As I'm sitting here, I'm listening.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the same issues that's going on over there is happening right here in America
That's it. You go.
with the younger youth that's out here gang banging, getting caught up in the Bloods, the Crips, or not even the Bloods and Crips, just out here not knowing what to do. And there's no system or programs to help them out, you know? So I'm listening, I understand what you're saying, but I'm looking at right here in America that it's the same issues with kids who don't have the education, don't know about plumbing and things like that. Like, where are the programs here for our kids?
Before you respond, I just want you to know that we're having the youth panel, and they're going to talk about these restorative justice programs. So they may have something to tell you. But go ahead, Hawa.
Me? Oh my
Or
God.
Michael.
Well, I have two boys, 27 and 21. It ain't easy, you know? And I think I try my best to expose them to the work that I do. Sometimes they're like, Mom, you know? But I think a little bit of what I say and do stays in. So I think it's an ongoing effort by parents and by family. And I think for me, even as a person, I've always been proactive, knowing where the information is and sharing with people. I work a lot with young people and I tell them, don't hog the information. If you find something good, make sure you pass it on to the next person. Even in my NGO, the motto is, when I do for you, you need to pay forward. You need to do for the other person. But I think for young people, not only in Africa, all around the world, what they need is respect. They need dignity. They need that direction, independence, and a listening ear. I think it goes a long way. That's just from my personal situation.
Thank you, Hawa. I just want to say that, well, we had two questions. One of them was from the perspective, a very African-centered perspective, which is absolutely legitimate and right. And then we had another question reminding us that those issues are virtually universal. They're here. And we've been speaking about it because we, from the United Nations, and the United Nations serves globally, outside the United States mostly, and for various reasons. But colleagues, friends, ladies, gentlemen, it's very interesting how these two questions remind us of the essential and most profound value of the United Nations, the idea that we are a singular humanity, that caring and compassion and feeling for each other is not a question only of religion or culture. It is an obligation of international law. We must care for each other because we learned in 1945, in that war, that caring only for ourselves only leads to global destruction. And you see this simple idea throughout the United Nations and what it does. And I think the simple answer to both questions is, let's carry that creed in our hearts and let us allow it to reflect in everything we do, in our communities especially. There are honorees in the room. And I forgot, I wanted to honor them when I started speaking. But they exemplify this idea. Stand out in your little place, in our localities. Then we can multiply that to the national, to the international level. Friends, could we put our hands together for Hawa, please? Thank you.
For Hawa and Michael. Wait a minute.
And Michael.
That was wonderful. Oh, it's heartbreaking and uplifting, like the film about the night. I just want to mention before you get up that we have some very important people in our audience, and that is Senate Majority Leader Andrea Stewart-Cousins, Congressman George Latimer showed up, Senator Shelley Mayer, County Legislator Shanae Williams, and Assemblymember Mary Jane Shimsky. What a great turnout. And of course, Ken Jenkins was here, and I think he might have left. But Andrea, we have some certificates from you, and we also have some certificates from Ken Jenkins. So I wonder if you can stay for the next panel. No, she can't stay. Okay, let me give a certificate to Hawa, and then I'll let you two give the certificates to the honorees. Would that work? Okay.
Exactly. That's it. Let me get out of here.
Well,
I feel special.
and by the way, Michael is also from Westchester.
Yes.
Everybody's from Westchester. This is from Ken Jenkins.
Wow.
And I just wanted to, look at this. Pretty beautiful, isn't it?
I feel special.
And we forgot to put your middle names in here.
That's okay. It's me.
All right, well, it's so nice to have you. And thank you so much. And I also wanted to give you the certificate from United Nations Association, of course.
Awesome.
To Hawa Diallo for her outstanding keynote contribution to UNA Westchester's Restoring Justice and Saving Lives. Thank you, Hawa.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Now, if you don't mind, we're going to take a break in the program. In fact, we can bring up all the youth. Why don't we bring up the youth
I wanna
panelists
hear
right
that.
now, and then we can have the Shelley Meyer, Andrea, and George. Okay, let's. So, can the youth panel please come up, and Nicole Benjamin? You can just stand up for a moment. Ellen Hendricks is also here from Greenberg.
Yes, okay. Oh, my love. I want to see you. Just because of you.
Thank you. Okay, so this is. So that's Brandon. Brandon, can you come up? Brandon, you come up.
Brandon is an Opportunity Youth Park graduate.
So this is Senator Shelley Mayer.
Hello.
Senator Andrea Stewart Cousins. And you are getting a certificate from both of for the great work you do. And this is from the county executive for you. Maybe you want to do county executive work. Maybe I don't want to be.
Hi, how are you? I actually stalk you on social media. I do.
That's Brandon.
Oh my God.
And Michael. And then, can we bring up, let's see, who's there? Leo Kennedy from the Frank White.
So, why have Ria right here?
Ria's here.
Okay, Leo. We're all very impressed by you. And you are surrounded by people who are supporting you all. So this is a certificate of recognition from Senator Shelley Mayer, who is right here.
Thank you, Senator.
And from myself, Senator Andrea Stewart Cousins. And this is Assemblywoman. Come on.
Okay, well, on behalf of the county, we also congratulate you and thank you for the work that you do.
Oh, thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Right here you are. Where's Ria's?
Yeah.
Forget you. No.
Thank you so much.
Come on. Can I have this?
Okay, everybody.
You're in the front of the
Youth board.
coming down.
Come closer.
They gotta try to take all of us.
It's the next generation.
Leo and, Brandon and Maria. Okay, this is a great group. Thank you all for coming. So exciting. We should have had Nicole Benjamin. Is she up here?
I'm here. And if I may, the town of Greenburgh welcomes everybody here to honor these wonderful, wonderful people, not only our teens, but everybody in this event who they're such achievers. We're very happy to have you.
Don't go away. The youth court people can sit down, but we want the honorees to come up. Frank Williams, Thomas, could you be?
Yeah, he is unfortunately sick.
Oh.
Yeah, Cynthia's here.
Oh, Cynthia Lobo. I'm sorry. Cynthia, please come up. Colleen, yeah.
Yeah, Cynthia's here, I think. Yep. Here we go.
Is that for Frank?
This is Cynthia's best friend.
Oh, so Frank don't have one of these, no?
Cynthia? I mean, George.
I
know. Office of the County Executive. Okay, where's Sinead?
On behalf of the county government, we stay on land.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
County's doing better than the feds. County can do the proper. Feds can't open the government.
That's right.
Thank you so much, everybody, and congratulations, Cynthia.
Senate, from Senator Mayor and myself.
Yes, hello. Yes, I just want to say one word about Cynthia,
Oh
who is, yes, the founding attorney with Opportunity Youth Part, and she does such a great job. She's such an advocate for all our young participants, so caring, so loving. Thank you. Yeah.
So, Frank Williams.
There we go. We knew there had to be one. Marcia, here you go.
Really rolling in the.
Andrea, would you like to say a few words? Oh, okay, that's great.
Thank you.
Well, words can't express the appreciation we have to Frank Williams Jr. for all that he does all the time for all the youth, not only in White Plains, but the county and the state. He is a leader among leaders in terms of creating leaders of our youth. So congratulations so much. And of course, you too have a certificate from Senator Mayor and myself.
Thank you.
All right. Did you get everyone posted? Okay.
Okay, so we're going to bring them up again later, but we're just presenting the
Thank you,
certificates
Marcia.
now because our wonderful leaders have to leave. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for always.
We could just sit this way.
I mean, at least for the celebration of UNA, right?
I almost forgot.
There you go. She's so busy making sure everybody else gets their honors. So you have been relentless in making sure that the mission of the United Nations is, come on up, Senator Mayor. Yeah, you've been relentless in making sure that the mission of the United Nations is not lost on us here in Westchester County. And she has been such a great leader. And so I just wanted to make sure on behalf of the State Senate that you were acknowledged for celebrating the 80th anniversary of UN Day right here in Westchester County. Thank you so very much.
Our wonderful senators. We have the best in Westchester County for sure.
Not to, and we got an assembly, so we got to, yeah.
Come on. Assembly
do it.
Member Mary Jane Shimsky.
We'll do the.
That was great. Thank you.
Marcia, for building such a broad coalition to come here and realize that UN Day is for everyone, and you have made that happen. We're very, very appreciative that you've built such a strong coalition to support it.
You're wonderful. Thank you so much. And thank you, Andrea and Shelley, for this wonderful proclamation. I wish we had an office, but I'll hang it on my own wall for the time being. Well, now it's time for the youth panel of young, please. Oh, let me get your, Nicole, could you? Oh, boy.
You want me to talk first, right?
Go ahead.
Good afternoon, everybody. And now we have, I see, such a VIP audience, so thank you all for joining us today. We really appreciate your attendance here today. First, I also want to give a shout out to Marcia. I am just in awe of what she is capable of and what she accomplishes. And I heard her speak recently at the New Rochelle Rotary Club, and we all learned that even at the age of 20, she was a superstar at Georgetown, where she volunteered to do some research into a developing country, Thailand. And she still goes back to Thailand now every year since that time. So, lessons for us all there. I am delighted to highlight the Opportunity Youth Part initiative that Judge Rice launched in October of 2020. When Councilman Rice became Judge Rice in January of 2020, he observed that many of the young people who were appearing before him were disconnected. They weren't in school and they weren't working, and many of them had little family support. He launched OIP to connect emerging adults ages 18 to 24 to local organizations that could provide case management, workforce trainings, job placements, assistance with behavioral health and substance use, and connections to mentors, paid internships, and GED and ESL classes. To date, OIP has worked with approximately 350 young participants. 141 have completed the program, and another 33 are on track to graduate, which is very exciting. Of those who do complete OIP, 90% exit without a criminal record, which is an incredible legal outcome. We have this show and tell infographic that has a lot of statistics. Those are over there on our membership table. And we have a great quote from the chief judge in New York State of Appeals, Rowan Wilson, says that OIP is a model for all courts, which is about as good as it gets. So we're very proud of that. I also want to point out that it's our 5-year anniversary next Friday, October 31st, in New Rochelle City Court, open to the public, so everyone is invited to join us. We will highlight the achievements of 12 All-Stars, which is very exciting to see the progress that they've made in this during this time in their initiative. So it's all great. Today, we are going to hear our youth panelists, including my friend Brandon over there, who is a graduate from OIP. At the age of 26, he is a co-owner of an HVAC company called Unified Air Tech Pros. He has had some really great experiences with the Justice Ambassador Program with Columbia University and also with New Rochelle's Youth Justice Advisory Committee. So he's going to talk about those leadership opportunities. We also recognize Cynthia Lobo, Thomas Kajubi, who is also going to be celebrated, couldn't be with us. Yeah, we're going to be calling on you pretty soon. I'd like to call Connie Jones-Hairston up. She's going to talk about the White Plains Youth Court. I know she's doing an amazing job, and Frank Williams is very, very proud of her.
Thank you so much. I'm not going to go into
all of our programs. I'm going to let our members actually do the talking, but my name is Connie Jones Harrison. I am the program director for the White Plains Community Youth Court. We are through the White Plains Youth Bureau and the City of White Plains. And we're funded through the Westchester Youth Bureau for Investing Kids, which is amazing. So our youth court have been in existence since 2012, and it grew out of a need to help young people to stay out of the criminal justice system. And so what we do in youth court, we work with our Westchester County Probation Department, our White Plains Police Department, the county attorney's agency. So this way we get the cases before the kids enter the juvenile justice system. So they commit a minor offense. One of the agencies, referring agencies, will call me up and say, will you take this case? And our goal is to make sure they do not get a record, which is amazing. And the kids that we take in the program are ages, we even take 12-year-old now, so I want to make sure they get started early, not going into the system. So from 12 to 17, also our program was involved with Raise the Age. We are one of the programs that went to Albany and advocated, and in 2017, Raise the Age was passed, where 16 and 17-year-olds do not go to adult prison. So we are very proud of that. So we're doing an amazing job to make sure that we help every kid that come through our program from Westchester County. And so right now we have 100% success rate, no repeat offenders. And some of our kids go on to do amazing things that are in the program that come through as a client. Some of them come back and join youth court because our program helped them. I have one just gave me a call the other day. He just finished college. He wants to go into law enforcement. And boom, he thought this came up on his record. It did not, but it's amazing to see how that person turned their life around and now going to be on the other side. So it's amazing. And our youth court members, which are officers, I'm going to have them tell about their experience in youth court. But these are two of our seniors from Iona Prep and from Horace Greeley High School. They have done amazing work. Rhea and Leo, they are like the ideal candidates in youth court. So I'm going to let them give their story. But thank you so much for everyone for coming out and supporting our youth and supporting our United Nations program today. So thank you so much. Yes. Oh, yes. Let me read my colleague, our board of directors, one of our members, Nicole Benjamin. She's going to be the moderator for the panelists. So let's give Nicole a round of applause.
I just wanted to also note that our board member, Michelle, is going to be handing out postcards and pencils for anyone in the audience who wants to have a question posed to the youth panel. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. This is a packed room, and I'm so excited to see all of these faces here. So I am honored to be with these prestigious young people. And when we talk about Gen Z, we talk about, often people say they're disaffected, they don't vote, they're self-absorbed, they're on TikTok all day long. But this proves everyone wrong. These are people who have real hearts for social justice and advocacy and service to their community. So it's an absolute honor to be with you. And before I begin, I would like to pay homage to Marsha. I want to reiterate Senator Mayer's comment about you, the life that you've given. You've dedicated your life to UNA Westchester and the broad coalition as you look across the room that you have brought here together. So we appreciate you and thank you for your work. So, the introductions were already given on these fabulous panelists, and my first question is, what aspects of your participation in OYP or the White Plains Youth Court proved beneficial to you?
All right, so, y'all can hear me?
Yes, speak a little closer.
So, what was beneficial is from OYP just to be honest with you, how you're brought in. So they said OIP was started in 2020. So for me, I just got lucky. All right. And it really helped me because, you know, my life could have taken a different turn that it really didn't need to go. And I was able to get an opportunity to, you know, not have that be a life-changing moment, and then to also be integrated into New Rochelle, justice ambassadors, just to be able to make, like, you know, different policies for people, you know, around these two guys' ages to, you know, have better opportunities whether it comes to housing, whether it comes to help for drug abuse or, you know, anything into that nature. So just the actual word inside of the program itself, opportunity, you know, to be able to show what you're actually supposed to be capable of and not a mistake that could have altered your life.
So I'd say the two areas where youth court has proven beneficial to me is one, just teaching me overall about the justice system. I mean, I hope I'm never a defendant, but but if I was, it's important to know your rights. It's important to know what this country affords to you, specifically here in the United States. But beyond that, the role of the judge, the role of the defense attorney, the role of the prosecutor, because they all have to work together, and when one person doesn't do their job, that's usually when there's injustice. And then the second area which youth court has helped me with personally is how to work as a team. Because when somebody doesn't do their job, that's when mistakes are made in criminal justice.
Thank you so much for that. I think what has been beneficial to me due to youth court is, as Ms. Connie said, she's our amazing director as part of this program, and she was talking a lot about the opportunities that this program gives to allow us as like teenagers to really make an impact on our communities. And I think that that is something that has been really beneficial to me, is just being able to be part of something that truly makes an impact on so many lives and truly changes the outcomes and the life experiences of these people who come through this program. People who come through this program, this case is completely taken off their record. They learn how to reintegrate back into their community through like community service and counseling sessions, and just being part of that, I feel like, has been the most beneficial aspect to me.
So Brandon, you're next. Brandon, your involvement with OYP opened two incredible leadership opportunities for you with Justice Ambassadors Program sponsored by Columbia University in conjunction with the City of New Rochelle, and more recently, you were chosen to be a member of New Rochelle's Youth Justice Advisory Committee. How did these... How did it feel for these doors to be opened for you, and what are those experiences like for you right now?
So, I mean, it's different because it was never somewhere that I figured I'd be going, but it kind of answers when the last two speakers was up. There was a guy who asked, like, what are the programs that are there set up for, you know, the youth that's involved in gangbanging, and one of the programs that they just mentioned was Justice Ambassadors, with the first one from Columbia University. If you ever do any research about them, they actually took two rival gangs in, what's the worst part? Brownsville. In Brownsville, Brooklyn. I don't know if anybody ever stood outside Brownsville, Brooklyn for 10 minutes, but, you know. But they took two rival gangs. Not only were they able to take them out of the community, they were able to put money in their pockets. They were able to give a couple of them college degrees from Columbia University. One of the guys a couple of guys actually got their driver's license, and then, you know, there's two people from each rival gang who's actually now a part of the Justice Ambassadors Committee, who actually giving speeches in the cohort that I was in. They were actually a part of it themselves. So going from being a rival gang to, you know, being basically co-workers is the kind of programs that's not only out there, but what us at Youth Justice Advisory Committee is now also trying to do with the youth in New Rochelle alone. When it comes to housing, you know, emerging adults have, you know, not the abilities, like you said, whether it's HVAC, electrical, or any of these stuff to, you know, sustain a new apartment in New Rochelle. That's like over, $2,000 something for a studio. All right, and then what are you gonna do? Work at McDonald's? You know, even if you do get a job, what are you gonna do if you don't have training? So those are the type of programs that we are doing right now in youth justice in YJC.
Rhea, participating in youth court also opened up doors for you as well. Can you talk about some of those opportunities?
Yes, of course. So Youth Court and the support of Miss Connie, as well as just the program in general, has offered me amazing opportunities outside of the program itself. I mean, we're able to use our public speaking skills that we developed through the program in order to also speak outside of the youth court as well. So every year, the White Plains does this Red Ribbon event, and last year I spoke at it, and it was just last week as well. And people are able to advocate against like substance abuse and drug abuse, and that opportunity has been provided to us directly from Youth Court. And then on top of that as well, Youth Court has also allowed all of its members, with the support of the program, to do a lot of these internships over the summer, which have been really like educational and just amazing. Just this past summer, like with the support of Youth Court, I was able to get an internship at the county executive's office, and I was able to learn a lot about the public policy area and just like legislation and kind of creating new policies, and I think that that was very instrumental for me personally. And then beyond that, we're just given so many extra opportunities to speak at different events and things like that, and altogether it's just helped me so much out, even outside of the areas of Youth Court.
Lastly, Leo, you learned about courtroom procedures, you said, and the roles that young people play, like yourself, in youth court. Prosecutor, defense attorney, judge, bailiff. What role did you play, and which was your favorite?
So part of youth court, which makes it so great, is everybody does everything.
Oh.
So I've done all of them. I have to say, though, my favorite was probably being the judge. I wonder why. No, the judge is just so important because they are, they have to control the courtroom and they have to be fair. And that's really important because the judge it's the bridge between the state, the government, and then the person who's represented by their attorney. They have to be fair between them both, and if they're tipped one way or the other, again, that's when we have injustice, and we can't have that.
Okay, thank you. This is a question for all of the panelists. Could you explain to our audience, in your words, what is restorative justice to you?
Well, first of all, it's acknowledging what needs to be restored in your community, acknowledging what the youth in your community needs, where they're going wrong, and then acting on it.
I would say restorative justice is giving the opportunity to other people to have a second chance and make up for the harm that they have caused for whatever they did. And I think that that's really important because it proves that we can show compassion and give empathy towards people and allow them to kind of be seen for who they are outside of whatever incident occurred to them or whatever they did. And I think that that's really important. And it's one of the main aspects of Youth Court and all these programs is just making sure that people are able to move past what happened to them. And that's kind of I feel like one of the pillars of restorative justice.
Yeah, restorative justice, both of them summed it up really well. First is you have to acknowledge that, well, in the case of criminal justice, that you made a mistake and that you did something wrong. And then, let's say you broke a window. You acknowledge you broke the window, but the window's still broken. So then it's going out, performing community service, maybe going to counseling, and bettering yourself to make sure that you can reconnect back to your community and that you can help your community moving forward.
So, Leo, you talked about acknowledging that the defendant did something, quote unquote, wrong. What were some of the remedies that you recommended as judge for the defendants to right that wrong to society?
Because youth court is youth-driven, I think if it were set up in a way where I was the only one deciding what somebody did, that would go off the rails rather quickly. So the way it works in youth court is there are two possible remedies that the jury can use at their disposal to come up with a sanction. One is community service, and then the other is counseling. We do not determine how much counseling somebody gets because we are not mental health experts. So they get as much counseling as they need, and that's determined between them and their counselor. And as for community service, Connie does a fantastic job placing our defendants at community service sites that are tailored to what they did. We have partnerships at the library. Sometimes we send them to certain educational events like this, depending on what they did. Like if they stole, maybe they volunteer some of their time at some, I've seen the library. What else do we do? Food pantry, exactly. Things like that, depending on what they did, targeted to them so that they do not reoffend. And we're very good at that. Never happened.
Okay. So we're going to wrap up with our last question for each panelist. If you could please share your specific interactions and characterize them with Judge Rice, your lawyers, the case managers, the social workers, the service providers, and the court staff. If you could please share.
I like how y'all look my way. But, starting with the case managers, it was a very welcoming place when I went to OIP. I wasn't in the best of positions at the moment, financially or anything, My actually first case manager, Rick, actually took me to go get a suit and tie to go and do an interview for a job, which I needed. And then, everything after that just kind of went in place to where I'm at right now. It was like a job that I didn't need in my, career, but I needed something to get by, and then it was like dominoes. Everything just kind of started working out. After that, my lawyer, Kajubi, who was just on the screen, who was kind of supposed to be here, but he got a tummy ache or something right now. He was another person that was really welcoming, checks up on me even when it's, not in court. Judge Rice, always. And Colleen, I should always mention Colleen, always getting me into these new programs, having me speaking to people in public. I'm not a public speaker. Everything was welcoming, and I just feel like it was something that, I didn't know I needed. I wouldn't say I'm happy I got in trouble in 2021, but it definitely worked out for the best,
So as youth court members, we don't exactly work directly with all those individuals, but our program is very much connected to with the probation department and the police department within Westchester County and the city of White Plains. And I think a lot of the cases that we get are from those areas. And then, would you like to add on anything?
Our referring agencies do a fantastic job sending us cases that are appropriate for the program to handle. Minor offenses, misdemeanors like stealing or trespassing, things like that. But also, as Rhea mentioned, our internship placement program is fantastic. I was fortunate enough to be placed at the county attorney's office and then with a federal judge, where I learned a lot about how I can better my own service to our defendants in youth court.
So I want to thank this wonderful panel of youth for sharing your hearts with us today and improving our community, the Westchester community, and giving us hope for what's to come for the future. If we could please give them a standing ovation. Yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Before they leave, I'd like to just take a picture with the board, if the
Okay.
whole UNA board would come up.
Let's turn it to the moderator.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you all for coming and enjoying the program.
So we still have the honorees and the music, but I wanted to take some pictures with the board, if possible. Shall we go in front of the table or
Sure.
behind the table?
Behind the table.
Behind the table is good? Okay. All right. Yes, everybody from the board, please come up. And Colleen?
Yes, yeah. I have,
Where are our three honorees?
Brandon's from the United Nations Association. There you are. You have another citation of graduating you for your great work.
Citation on paper.
Yeah, that's right. You have yours. Yes. Yes.
We're taking pictures of the certificates?
Oh.
Semi-circle.
Oh, they already got them?
No, they still need to get them.
Okay, all right, sorry. I guess I'll move in here.
All right, with the board, and thank you to the wonderful student panel and young humanitarians.
Right here, big smile. Beautiful one more. Thank you very much.
And
Thank you, everybody.
I don't know if I mentioned it, but these people are in support of Sustainable Development Goal number 16, peace, justice, and strong institutions. Raj, we can move the table. But before we, as they're moving the table, we're going to ask our honorees, Frank Williams Jr. and Cynthia Lobo, to please come up. Can I give you that? We're going to need this.
That one's still rolling.
Okay. We're not going to need that.
The vocalist will use it. We'll use one of these things for the...
We're going to have the honorees come up.
I will use two stands on that. Yeah, you want to take... Okay, you got it? Yeah. Okay. Yep. Vocalist will use this.
So, we'd just like to have some photos with the honorees. Go ahead. Do you want to take the... Do we have a mic? Looks like there's one here. Maybe we should get the board up here again? Thank you so much.
Cynthia,
Yeah, because we need to use this mic also.
yes, so, yeah.
So they need to make use of
So,
Nicole gets to be...
oh, yeah.
Yeah, Alice.
No,
Okay.
I think they need some for the brother from violin also.
Do you want to say something?
I'll say, yeah, talk for a second.
We don't have him sing.
Yeah, I want to. Yes, hi everybody again. I just wanted to again note the great work Cynthia Lobo does with Opportunity Youth Part. We have two lead defense attorneys, and Cynthia and Thomas do an amazing job. Thomas Kajubi. They befriend the participants and lift them up and advocate for them, and they just make their lives a lot better. And whenever we have a gathering, Judge Rice asks Cynthia to be the closer and to give, the closing speech. And she is always so inspirational. She likes to use the word love, which is not a word you often see in court. So we are very grateful for all that you do. Thank you. And Frank, we'd like you to talk about the youth support and Connie.
Well, our city, our county, our state is better because of the work of Connie Jones and our youth court program. I don't know if you heard what she said a short time ago, that we have a 100% success rate of young people not reoffending. Now, one thing I've learned in life is that people will rise to the standards you set. And the bar for our youth court program is very high. You heard these two young people, how they spoke, just in terms of public speaking and confidence. And also their career pathway is just large. So I want to commend Connie, and I see Patty. Patty, raise your hand. Patty oversees our youth employment program. And Angela is here, and Irvin Caesar, he's with the fathering program. So what it shows that when we all work together, when we put our hands together, we can achieve anything that we want to do if we pull together and if we love each other. So thank you.
That's right.
Well, I want to give a big shout out to Frank Williams. He is like the best executive director and an amazing person. And in White Plains, we he deserves all the kudos. So I wouldn't be doing what I do if it wasn't for the amazing support of our executive director. So please.
I also want to acknowledge Judge Rice, who launched Opportunity Youth Part. And he also launched the New Rochelle chapter of My Brother's Keeper in 2015. He's a visionary leader. 12 chapters around Westchester have MBK, and New Rochelle was the first because of then City Councilman Judge Rice. He really is so amazing. He just sort of sees the future and the reality, and he tries to really lift up these young people that we work with.
So thank you all very much. We're very proud of our honorees, our panel, and our speakers. Thank you all very much. We're going to have a musical program right now, so please take your seats and enjoy the musical program. Raj? Quickly. Okay. Well, while they're setting up, you can check out our tables, information tables, if you like, information from the UN. And then after that, we'll have our reception, which is getting prepared over here. Pretty amazing group of people, huh?
Yeah, just, oh, you know what? Unplug that cable from the wall, audio cable. Perfect. Gonna move it, watch it. Good. Program is good, driving. Go all the way in. We're still there. You gave me a good one. I had one. Four microphones, they gotta share it. Oh. Gosh.
Oh, thank you. She's really on. One for singer. Oh wait, if you're like announcing. Oh yeah. She is, and then Sarah and Megan. I don't think this one's on.
This one's on. Ma, that one's not on. You have to turn the switch. That one's not on. Oh, no, it's not. No. I think that's right. This one's like turned off.
Is it still at work?
No, it's like, wait.
Hello. Oh. Okay. Yeah.
I tried my best, but obviously that she knows it perfectly, so. Okay, so she's gonna, and she's right in the middle.
Parvati, are you ready to save us if we all forget? Huh? Are you ready to save us if we all forget?
Save us if we all forget.
Oh, okay.
You got it.
Am I the only one who knows this? Wait, how is Megan gonna go switch the shirt thing? What? Yes. Yeah, I'm literally. Oh, actually, it's a song. It's a. It's like these poor girls have to stand there for so long. Our you put Dom since you're okay. What? You put Dom first since you're okay. Yeah. Like when she said she had 20. How are you holding this so quick, Dom? There's no way. Can you hold this? There's a column all the way over there. This is a startup. Wait, and Dark you should hold it. You're right. What? The intro? I don't. Does she have the same one as you? Well, we're gonna play the violin, so we can just does she have the same true this? He's gonna, yeah. Girl, not bad. He plays like that first line.
Oh, and then you have to tell Rowan to switch the show because he's the only one standing near it.
Picture.
Oh. Go there?
What? Do you want to hold the mic since your head is in the middle of this? Yeah. Why is it so low? You don't know this. Oh, start.
Okay. After you finish, you have to say it all over. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Good afternoon. This is the Shrishti School of Music. Our teacher is Mrs. Rendita Iyer. We are excited to perform these two songs today, Maitrim Bhajata and Uli Padaita Kaninai. Maitrim Bhajata is a Sanskrit hymn meaning cultivate friendship, written by Kanchi Paramacharya and famously sung by M.S. Subralakshmi at the United Nations in 1966 as a message of global peace. The song encourages compassion, unity, and the idea that the whole world is one family. Even today, the messages of Maitrim Bhajata is deeply relevant. In a world often divided by fear, anger, and difference, this song reminds us to let go of hatred, embrace kindness, and to find peace both within ourselves and others. This is Ria. This is Ishita. This is Arti. This is Parvati. That is Inya, Meghna, Smera. There's no one else, right? Yeah. And my name is Tara.
We will be accompanied by the mridangam, an ancient traditional South Indian percussion instrument said to be over 2,000 years old, as well as the Carnatic violin, adopted from the Western violin to Carnatic music in the 18th century. On the mridangam today, we have Rohan Narayanan, and our violinist is Bhargava Sridhar. Alongside the music, we will also have Bharatanatyam dancers from Natya Anubhava Dance Academy under the artistic direction of Dr. Nalini Rauji. The dancers Megha Swami, Hashini Velmani, Abigail Matthews, and Varadi Bharadwaj will be depicting the meaning of the song. Originating in the Hindu temples of South India, Bharatanatyam is considered to be one of the oldest classical dance forms. This song is set to Adi Talam, an 8-beat rhythmic pattern that the singers will maintain using their hands. Thank you.
Maitrim bhajata akila hrijetrim. Maitrim bhajata akila hrijetrim. Maitrim bhajata akila hrijetrim. Maitrim bhajata akila hrijetrim. Atmavadev paranabhi pashyata. Atmavadev paranabhi pashyata. Yudham tyajata svadha भजत अखिल हृजेरी जननी पृथ्वी कामदुकास्ते जननी पृथ्वी कामदुकास्ते जनको देवः सकल दयालु जनको देवः सकल दयालु दाम्यत दत्ता दयद्वौ जनता दाम्यत दत्ता दयद्वौ जनता श्रेयो भूयात् सकल जनानां श्रेयो भूयात् सकल जनानां श्रेयो भूयात् सकल जनानां श्रेयो भूयात् सकल जनानां श्रेयो भूयात् सकल जनानां
Our next song is titled Olipadaita Kanninai by Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati. This is a song about awakening one's inner light and strength to bring truth and clarity into the world. It calls on people to act with determination and kindness, as well as honesty, to reject ignorance and falsehood. The repeated call of Va 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 urges listeners to step forward and take responsibility for creating positive change. Its message remains deeply relevant today, reminding us to lead with courage in a time when the world still struggles with division and moral uncertainty. This is set to Ragamalika and the same 8-beat cycle Aditalam.
புலி படைத்த கண்ணினாய் வா 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 உறுதி கொண்ட நெஞ்சினாய் வா 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 புலி படைத்த கண்ணினாய் வா 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 உறுதி கொண்ட நெஞ்சினாய் வா 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 களி படைத்த மொழியினாய் வா 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 கடுமை கொண்ட தோளினாய் வா 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 களி படைத்த மொழியினாய் வா 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 கடுமை கொண்ட தோளினாய் வா 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 தெளிவு பெற்ற மதியினாய் வா 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 சிறுமை கொண்டு பொங்குவாய் வா 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 தெளிவு பெற்ற மதியினாய் வா 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 சிறுமை கொண்டு பொங்குவாய் வா 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 எளிமை கண்டிறங்குவாய் வா 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 ஏறு போல் நடேயினாய் வா 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 எளிமை கண்டிறங்குவாய் வா 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 ஏறு போல் நடேயினாய் வா 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 இளைய பாரதத்தினாய் வா 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 எதிரிலா பலத்தினாய் வா 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 இளைய பாரதத்தினாய் வா 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 எதிரிலா பலத்தினாய் வா 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 ஒளியிறந்த நாட்டிலே நின்றேறும் உதய ஞாயிறப்பவே வா 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 ஒளியிறந்த நாட்டிலே நின்றேறும் உதய ஞாயிறப்பவே வா 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 கலையிறந்த நாட்டிலே முன் போலே தலை சிறக்க வந்தனே வா 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 கலையிறந்த நாட்டிலே நீரே முன் போலே தலை சிறக்க வந்தனை வா 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 விழிமாம்பையாவையும் பார்த்தன் போல் விழியினால் விளக்குவாய் வா 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 விளைய மாம்பையாவையும் பார்த்தன் போல் விழியினால் விளக்குவாய் வா 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 விழியினால் விளக்குவாய் வா 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 விழியினால் விளக்குவாய் வா வா வா
Are you doing one more? No. This was a wonderful tribute to United Nations 80. I'll tell you, we had a really international meeting here in Westchester today, and we had the whole range of what is good in Westchester, and I really appreciate these young women and the musicians and the dancers for their great program in support of peace, international peace. So thank you. Thank you to the singers. Oh, I have some. I have some certificates here. How is going to help me give them to you? And I also just want to say that after the dance, our program is ended, but we are going to have the reception. I hope you get to meet everybody, including the dancers, the speakers, the honorees, and the board. So thank you to everyone, to our co-sponsors, our volunteers, our board, and the musicians. It has been a wonderful tribute to the United Nations 80th birthday. Thank you all. So now we would like to present certificates. Who should I give these to? You can give them to this one is to the Shristi School of Music from United Nations Association. This is from Senator Andrea Stewart Cousins and Senator Shelley B. Mayer. Who will accept this? Who will accept this? And Paula?
Yes, and we have a third one, a certificate of recognition to the Shristi School of Music from the Office of the County Executive, Westchester County. Congratulations.
Do we need to be in two lines, maybe? But we're all short.
I know, right?
We don't have any Nicole Benjamins. That was wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much. We also have the United Nations 80 cake. So the cake will be served here. The savories will be served there. And enjoy yourself. And thank you all.